Hello and welcome to my channel. Tonight we're taking a look at my first full Beast Wars figure. Coming from the newest IDW run of Beast Wars, we have NYX, a new addition to the Maximal crew, brilliantly written by Erik Burham and have been wonderfully illustrated so far by Josh Burcham and Winston. I based this figure heavily on Josh Burcham's illustrations. NYX has become my favourite character in the series. Issue 9 was an absolute treat. I have yet to find issue 10 in stores, but I am very much looking forward to giving that a read. With the intro out of the way, let's see how she scales with the original Cheetor. She stands in between the size of a core and deluxe class figure. There's a full group photo at the end of the video. Zooming in on her head, I've tried to mimic the illustrations as close as I could. I am quite happy with the sculpt, but unfortunately I think this is the best my printer could do at this scale. She looks all the way up, which is great for flying poses. Neck swivels 360 degrees, and coming onto the bat head, the bat ears are articulated as well, mainly for transformation, but I do find it fairly useful when articulating her shoulders forwards. Her shoulder goes the full 360 as well. Some backwards movement gets hindered by the wings on her back, but you could easily clear the way by angling them back like so. There is a swivel at the bicep, and a double hinge that connects the lower bicep to somewhere near the middle of her forearm for transformation. At this single hinge, it bends just above 90 degrees, and with the one below you get the full range of a double hinge, but it breaks the forearm. There is a swivel at the fists. Onto the wings, there's 4 points of articulation on each wing, allowing you to pose them almost any way you'd like. I'm really happy with the wingtips, which curve slightly upwards to represent the sharp upwards curve NYX's wings have in the comics. There is a swivel at the waist. The legs kick up quite a fair bit. The legs also kick out fully horizontally, and these 2 points are really important for transformation. There is a swivel at the thigh, a 90-degree bend at the knee. It does bend forwards as well for bat mode, but the white shin pieces tab into place to prevent it from doing so in bot mode. Some up and down movement on the toes, and turning her around, there is a swivel on her heels. Taking a look at her bat mode, overall I am quite happy with how she ended up. Her comic design, which I believe was based on Bat Primal, has very limited amounts of brown fur parts, which in the drawings formed only her chest and wings. The rest are blue and white parts, so there wasn't a lot of space to hide them in beast mode. My solution was to make her as compact in bat mode as I can, then give the wings enough articulation so they can fold downwards and wrap them around most of her front, forming this bat burrito, and therefore covering up some of the robot parts as well. She has 3 bat mode configurations. There's the flying mode like you are seeing now. This is how I prefer to display my bat mode NYX. For articulation in bat mode, the bat head is on a swivel and can hinge up and down. The ears again are on a pin so they can rotate up and down. Again, 4 parts of articulation at the wings, which brings me to form the bat burrito configuration. The wings wrap around the front and covers the shoulders. She looks like she's squatting a bit here, but I do find this mode quite cute. I took a picture of her in this mode hanging upside down on Primal's arm. I used a stand to support her and then photoshopped it away, but unfortunately a few followers thought I had added a latching on feature to her feet. I'm unfortunately not smart enough to do that, and to remedy the issue, I did release the files to the Maximal flight stand I used as well. The last configuration we are going to do right now is the Airazor configuration. This is based on the original Basics Airazor toy, where her legs bend forwards and the body lays horizontally, with the beast head facing forwards. To get there, we need to rotate the legs at the hip joint, rotate the thighs so the little brown pieces at the back of those thighs face forward, then bend the legs forwards at the knee and tuck the white shin parts behind the brown pieces. This gives her the Airazor look, and one downside to this mode is that the white collar of the robot mode looks the most exposed here. I would paint the underside of this piece brown to blend it better into beast mode if I weren't so worried about painting resin parts now. Taking a look at her, she is quite compact in this mode and is the closest to the ground here. And with all three bat configurations shown, let's transform her into her robot mode. First, I like to unfold her arms at the double hinge, which gives us clearance to deal with the legs. Rotate the leg at the hip joint so the front of the thigh piece sits where it should next to the one half of the crotch. The front of the thigh can be identified by the side with the indent of the three lines in them. Flip the white shin piece up, there is a peg that goes into the hole at the leg, peg them in. Straighten the leg at the knee and fold the toe up. Rotate at the lower thigh so the brown fur piece is facing the back, which gives you a fully blue thigh. Do that on the other side as well. Then fold the two halves of the crotch together. Give them a good squeeze. This is the copy of NYX that I kept in bat mode. What's printed was a slightly earlier version of the crotch where there was a slight gap, but with some sanding you should be able to get them closed nicely. I do recommend for those who are printing this to use a sturdier material. In fact, use that on all of the joints because they are quite small. Once that's done, rotate her at the waist, and then you can fold the bat head down at the rotation, then use the hinge at the neck to fold it down against her chest. Flip the bat ears backwards. Adjust the arms to your desire. Then we get to her wings. Fold the wingtip down on the double hinge. There's a cut that overlaps onto the back of her wing. Tab the two pieces together. Angle the wings backwards. Do the same on the other side. These make her slightly back heavy, which was why I had given her bat toes as heels. They end up providing more than enough support for the wings and keeps her really stable standing on my shelf. Turn her around and take this white color piece and bring it up on the hinge. There's two tabs and a slot on the underside of that white piece that corresponds to the two slots and a tab on the main chest assembly. Align them and tab them together. At this point, her head is looking all the way up, so angle her head down and finally rotate her head at the neck. There you have the robot mode I had shown off earlier. Quite a basic transformation, but slightly fiddly to be fair. Here you can see me transforming her back into bat mode, so you can see both ways of transformations while I give my final overall thoughts of the project. I'm really happy with this figure. Anytime I manage to print something small and make it fairly sturdy, for example my More Than Meets the Eye tailgate, the G1 wheelie and now NYX, I get so pleased and go off printing two to display on my shelf. This was the second time I attempted a Beast Wars character. First was a baby cub Cheetle that I ended up completing but chose not to release because it was just a big mess. So having NYX come out like this does makes me happy. I look forward to trying more Beast sculpts, most notably Scold, as I really loved issue 9. Razor Beast is tempting as well, but I'd like to get the original Razor Beast figure instead. Back to NYX, designing her was an absolute joy, and seeing Josh Burcham's reaction to my project as well made this even more special to me. Again, I am attempting two Rodimus projects now, one based on the design from Death of Optimus Prime, the issue right before More Than Meets the Eye, and one based on the unreleased new Rodimus design where he turns into a huge Inferno-esque fire truck. Beast Wars was an absolute surprise. I really hope to see more of it in the future. Her files are now out on my Cult 3D page, which is in the description below. Please follow me on Twitter at hightail_works. Feel free to comment and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.